Hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen, here we are now in the last games of the whole entire season for all football competitions here on this YouTube channel of British Sports, as we do have to find out now who will be promoted to play in the Premier League for next season. Will it be Blackburn Rovers or will it be Nottingham Forest? These two teams are great football clubs through the years, and both have won major trophies in the past, such as Blackburn Rovers winning the Premier League in 1994 and 1995 season, and then Nottingham Forest won the UEFA Champions League in 1979. And these two teams are historic football clubs, Andy. And do you really feel that the Premier League needs these two teams back in no time, back in the Premiership for sure? Definitely. The Premier League is also made to have big teams in the Premiership in the first place, because Blackburn Rovers and Nottingham Forest are two proper old school football teams. Have won their, say, domestic and also league titles through the years, but things haven't worked out in terms of behind the scenes of ownership, and things didn't work out in terms of recruitment through the years, and downfalls of financial problems for these two teams. And I'm so glad that these two historic football clubs are now got a chance to try and get to the Premier League. There's only one team could do that out of these two sides here for this afternoon, but it'll be very, very interesting, I think, on who could do it and who could join Bournemouth and Fulham to be a part of the Premiership for next season. It all comes down to this game here at Wembley this afternoon. Thank you very much there, Andy, and let's get straight right now to the coverage here at Wembley Stadium between Blackburn Rovers and also Nottingham Forest. There's a lot to play for here between the two sides, and let's get to that game right now at Wembley. We are here finally at Wembley for the playoff final here for this evening. Blackburn Rovers versus Nottingham Forest. And we know that these two teams are here in one of the most richest games of all to try and get promoted to play in the Premier League. And these two teams have got great history in the Premier League in the past. As of Blackburn, they were in the Premier League, were the best teams in the 90s under Alan Shearer, Chris Sutton and Kenny Dalglish in charge as manager at the time. They won the Premier League in 94-95 season, and then obviously Jack Walker invested so much into Blackburn Rovers at the time, and then they got relegated in 1999, and then they went straight back up again in 2001 and been in the Premier League for 13 straight seasons, and then after that they've been relegated in 2012, and then 9 years away from the Premier League. They came straight back up in 2020 and then went straight back down to the Championship in 2021. Only a season in the top flight. And now Nottingham Forest, however, have not played in the Premier League now for the last 26 years. Not played in the Promised Land, not played whatsoever in the Premiership. As we know that for Forest, they've got a very good team, a very good investment in terms of the owner of Mariaklis, the owner of Forest, of course, invests a lot of money in terms of Forest to try and be a real powerhouse team in the Championship. And unfortunately, they could not get automatic promotion, but unfortunately came third instead in the Championship. And that's why they're going to be playing, of course, in this sort of game here for this afternoon. And here we go, and let's get it on the way right now, ladies and gentlemen, between Blackburn Rovers and Nottingham Forest in this match. Here's Anthony Alanga, and now here's Anderson. Shot there from Awongi, and it's gone all the way right there to Bonanu right there for Blackburn. And now Wyman, great option here, maybe look for a good pass here now to Mark Canady. Mark Canady now the ball. Now Mark Canady looking for a chance to shoot. Save right there for the goalkeeper. Great chance there. A great start to Blackburn to try and put the pressure on the goalkeeper. And now here's Alanga now for Forest. Now here's Anderson. And now is Aina. Now to Hudson-Odoi. And now all the way there to Wyman. And now Tronstad. Nice pass there to Gau. Now Gau's through here for Blackburn. Looking for options here for him to try and score, maybe so. And it looks like now there's going to be a corner in this match. And now a chance, header bouncing slightly, now away from danger here, and now here's Alanga, and now Alanga the ball, nice pass there now to Nico Williams, and now is Taiwan Awongi pushing through here now for Forest. He might make it 1-0 for Forest, and a chance for Awongi, but it's gone wide. Massive chance here for Forest to try and get the goal, but unfortunately that ball has gone wide. And now a header right there from Blackburn here. Now here's Ania with the ball here. Now to Anderson. Now to Awongi. And now Awongi now has another chance to goal, and a save right there, easy right there from the goalkeeper right there, from Bonneau right there for Blackburn. And now here's to Dominguez. Now Anderson. Now to Awongi. Looking for options here now. Maybe a chance here for a goal. Carter clears the ball away there. And now Gau. Now to Mark Canaday now for Blackburn now. On the attack here now for Blackburn. Looking for a chance here for them to try and get a goal. Cross in. Now a corner now for, looks like for Blackburn Rovers in this matchup here. And try and get one good step to try and get promoted to the Premier League for next season. And Blackburn, maybe a chance here for Tromstad, but good defending right there from Nottingham Forest. And now Carter now lost it. Now DeLalo won it back here now for Forest now. And that's gone out there for a throw-in now for Blackburn in the game. Quite a big danger there for Forest to actually let in a goal there and may let Blackburn score. But luckily it's still 0-0 in the match. And now here's Aina. And now Awongi now, he's through, he could be, and it's gone right there to Bonneau right there, the goalkeeper there for Blackburn. And now here's a chance here, holds it nicely there, now Awongi, and now to DeLalo, now to Anderson, now to Hudson-Odoi, and now here's Alanga, and it's gone right there, easy to the goalkeeper right there for Blackburn. And not long left to go until the end of the first half of the game here. Here's Anderson. Now to Alanga. I lost it now to Lodi now. Lodi now to Travis. Now got 1 minute left of the game to go, by the way. 1 minute left of the game to go. Now here's Gau now with the ball here for Blackburn. Not long left until the end of the first half of the game. Chance here. Chance maybe for Blackburn, but head away there from Forest. And that's going to be that for the break here at half time, ladies and gentlemen. And I've got to say that no action, no goals in the first half. Not much of drama in this playoff final. Both teams want to play in the Premier League, but one of these two teams will do it as it ends here at half time, goalless 0-0 at the break. And we are back now for the second half, and here we go between Forest and Blackburn in the match. And here we go for this second half. Here's Alanga. Really running through here now for Forest. And now chance here, could block. Now Mirrell now. Here's to Gau. Now Travis. And now Travis is through now. Here's to Lodi. Now to Travis here again. Now Gau shoots, and what a save right there for the goalkeeper. An amazing save right there for the keeper to stop that one. And John Buckley now comes on the field. And McCannaday will come off the field here for Blackburn Rovers in the match. And now corner here, cross. Header there from Worrell now. Here's Alanga. Running with the ball here now. Nice good run here for Forest. Now running through. Chance here for Forest here, maybe a chance here for a goal. Alanga, oh, save. And now Hudson-Odoi, oh, another save again. Still 0-0, no goals whatsoever in this matchup. No goals whatsoever in the game. And now here's Travis. Now to Gau. Good run right here for Blackburn here. Now here's a chance here for Shemedox now. And now here's to Wyman. Now here's to Aina. Anderson. Here's Awongi. And now all the way here, pushing through here for Forest. And now maybe a chance here for a goal, but a save again now from the goalkeeper. Been a tight game so far, got to say. Very tight game. And we've got double substitution here for Blackburn, and also a substitution also for Nottingham Forest as well in this match. So 2 substitutions for both sets of teams in this match. As we do have, it looks like there, Jota Silva comes on the field and Alanga comes off the field. And now across into the box here. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Header. And he's gone there wide. And now Toffolo now will come on the field as a left back in the game. So Toffolo will now come obviously out. And now it's going to be now a goal kick. And now here's to again a header. Now Carter. Now Wyman. Now here's Hudson-Odoi. And now all the way now. Here's to Shemenix. Now Shemenix now the ball here to Gau. And now Shemenix now the ball. Now here's a chance here for Dolan. Oh! Brilliant chance. It was a brilliant chance it was. And looks like here there's going to be a substitution here for Blackburn in the match. And now is a short corner here for Blackburn. And now it's a chance here maybe for Blackburn to score, but he couldn't. But okay, there's Sells. And now Yates. Now Silva. Now pushing through here now for Forest. And now Silva now through. And it's also Sweaty, and a goal being scored! And what a last minute goal for Nottingham Forest! And Taiwo Awongi has scored the winning goal to make sure that Forest play Premier League football for next season. And what a goal right there! And Silva right there ran with the ball, and he sweated past the ball right there to Awongi to get that last touch and last finish. And heartbreak for Blackburn Rovers. Pure heartbreak. But as of course the Forest, they will be playing in the Premier League for the first time in 26 years as they're leading this game here at Wembley. Now Buckley now holds it here for Blackburn. Now is Wyman, and now Wyman now might look for a cross in the box here maybe. Good defending. And now a chance here now for Wyman. A chance for a cross in the box here. And oh my God, Gay right there could have scored to make it 1-1. The best chance in the game for Blackburn to try and make it 1-1 before the 90th minute of the matchup ends. The last kick right here will definitely end here to make sure Forest become promoted to play in the Premier League. And it's all over. 26 years Nottingham Forest have not played in the Premier League, and they finally done it here in style. And that goal from Taiwo Awongi, that late goal in the end of the matchup, sends Forest to play in the big time, in the real top flight of British football for the first time in 26 years. They've been through a lot. Financial difficulties, been through relegations, hell and back through the 26 years away from the top flight of Premier League football, and now they have done it. They will be playing in the Premier League, and they are promoted. And there you have it. That trophy right there will be Nottingham Forest's in the game. And Mevakovic right there, the defender, will obviously lift the title. And the 2025's EFL playoff winners, Nottingham Forest. And they have done it. Definitely the hard way, Forest did. And they were actually top 2, top 1 throughout the whole season, first and second in the championship. But at the end of the season, they dropped down to third. And unfortunately, they had to do it the hard way and go through the playoffs and try and earn themselves to be a part of the Premiership. And finally, they have done it in style here. And Levakovic right there, who lifts the trophy held high up in the air. As Levakovic has done it and the whole team of Forest have done it, especially Nuno Espirito Santo as well, to come in from last summer to try and transform Forest into a top team in the Championship. And now they finally have got Premier League football for next season. And what a remarkable achievement right there for the whole of the Forest team. And they've got the team photo right there as well. And there you have it, Premier League Forest for next season for the first time in 26 years. A massive congratulations to Nottingham Forest. They are now promoted to the Premier League for next season after 26 years away from the top flight of British football. And finally, they've done it. They've done it after 26 years away from the top flight of British football. And they are the last team slotted in the Premier League now for next campaign. What was your thoughts about this result here, Andy, for Forest, the great Forest, to be back in the top flight? I think we discussed about this through the years about Nottingham Forest not being a part of the Premier League now for so many years, and finally they've done it here in style in the 86th minute by a goal from Tai Wonga in the game to secure Forest a place to play in the Premier League for next season. And Forest did it the hard way. The hard way to go through the playoffs and win the playoffs to get to the Premier League, because they were almost close enough to try and get automatically promoted to the Premier League by coming second in that last game of the season. But Bournemouth, however, occupied second place, and they'll be promoted, of course, in the Premier League for next season instead of Forest, however, at the time. But then they took it all the way to the playoffs. They won against Portsmouth. They beat here Blackburn Rovers, and it's a great achievement for a club like Forest. Had a great history in the past, such as Brian Clough, who won the Champions League for Nottingham Forest way back in the late 70s, and for them to get a good run in the FA Cup in the 1990 FA Cup, and been a team that always been a top flight team for 17 consecutive seasons from the 70s until the early 90s, and then things fell apart in the 90s when the Premier League was formed. They were yo-yoing from Division 1 to the Premier League a few seasons, and then in 1999 they got relegated, and since then, after 26 years, never ever played in the Premier League since. So what a great, remarkable achievement for Nuno Espirito Santo to actually send Nottingham Forest back in the Premier League where they belong, and hopefully next season they might surprise the big dogs in the Premiership, hopefully. Okay, thank you very much there, Andy, and that's all we have time for here for the EFL playoff finals here. A big win for Forest. They beat Blackburn by 1-0, and Forest will play in the Premier League. That's all we have time for here in the studio. With myself here today, Richard Keys, alongside my fellow pundit aside me here, Andy Gray, and we'll see you all for the next coverage of football for next season. But until then, have a very good afternoon.